It is so good to be with you again today, and I just pray that throughout today and the rest of this week, in fact, that you understand and know the power of God within you for all things. Amen. There was a man who used to visit a tiny general store, and he noticed that there was one of the workers there. His name was Jack, and Jack seemed to be one of the laziest men in the world. One day when he went into the store, he noticed that Jack had gone missing. He asked the owner, "Where's Jack? What's happened to Jack?" And the owner said, "Oh, he's retired." And the guy said, "Well, what are you going to do to fill the position of Jack? How are you going to fill this vacancy?" And the owner simply turned to him and said, "He didn't leave a vacancy." And that's because he was one of the laziest men around. He didn't leave a vacancy. The question for us today is, if we were to leave this earth today, would we leave a vacancy? Because God has created us for purpose. He's created us and intended us for His use. Look at 2 Timothy chapter 2. We're looking at verses 20 to 22. "In a place you find many kinds of containers and tableware for many different uses. Some are beautifully inlaid with gold or silver, but some are made of wood and earthenware. Some of them are used for banquets and special occasions, and some for everyday use. But you, Timothy, must not see your life and ministry this way. Your life and ministry must not be disgraced. For you are to be a pure container of Christ and dedicated to the honourable purposes of your Master, prepared for every good work that He gives you to do." So what vacancy would you leave? Paul, in talking to Timothy, is telling him that he is a container. I like to use the word repository, because we are filled with the knowledge of God, not for just ourselves, but to be available for other people. The word repository means, in the dictionary, a person or thing regarded as a store of information or in which a particular quality may be found. We are a repository of the grace and mercy of God. We are a repository of the things of God, and we are called to be a vessel fit for that purpose. And the question is, again, what vacancy would you leave if you were to die today? What vacancy would you leave? Because your purpose is to be a repository of God and His ways. Romans 9:21 gives us a greater indication of this, and it says this: "Does not the potter have power over the clay, from the same lump to make one vessel for honour and another for dishonour?" This indicates that when God created us, He created us to be vessels for His honour, created us to be repositories of His glory and His grace, His mercy. A Coca-Cola bottle is a bottle that is made to contain one thing, and that is called Coca-Cola. What you see on the label is what you get on the inside. Now, we were created to be God bottles or God vessels or God repositories, but a lot of the time what's on the label doesn't match what's on the inside. You got the label on the outside of being a Christian. You're dressed in uniform or whatever. You look like a Christian. You sound like a Christian, and what's on the outside says Christian, but what's on the inside doesn't always match what's on the outside. And that's really hard, and it's really horrible because there's people in the community who come to the repository that God has put on the earth, you and me. They come to us because they see the label on the outside which says Christian. They need hope. They come to us for living water. And if we don't have what's on the label on the inside, then what they're going to receive is perhaps poisoned water, or at the least they're going to go away very disappointed because what's on the inside doesn't match the outside. We are God's workmanship. We are a vessel of honor. And God has breathed his life within us. He's breathed everything that we need within us. He's given us. We are his repository of his glory and grace. People in our community need this. People in the world need us to be what God created us to be. You have been filled with mercy. You have been filled with grace. You have been filled with the beauty of Jesus. Be the repository of God's glory and grace that he needs on this earth at the moment. This is your mission. This is what you were created for and created to do, to be a repository of God's glory and grace. Somewhere, someone can come and receive from Jesus. Amen. Have a great day and have a great week.